1965 was the first year for the Shelby Mustang. Carroll Shelby was a legendary race car driver and engineer, and his Shelby Mustang GT350 was really a street-legal race car. Built from the stock Mustang Fastback, it was heavily modified. The 289 V8 engine was hopped up from 271 to 306 horsepower and had a 4-speed manual transmission, heavy-duty suspension, larger wheels, and tires. A fiberglass hood, functional scoops, vent windows. Twin racing stripes and pins were added to the body. At first, it only came out in white with blue stripes. It also had no back seat. Shelby's relationship with Ford had started back in 1962. Ford had failed in its attempt to buy Ferrari, but managed to make an agreement with Shelby. In 1959, Carroll Shelby was on the Aston Martin team that won the 24-hour Le Mans race. Consulting his doctor for chest pains, he was advised to quit racing. Well, he decided if he couldn't drive them, he was going to build them. In 1962, AC Cars Limited in Surrey, England, who had been building lightweight sports cars in limited numbers for 35 years, found themselves in financial difficulty. Shelby recognized an opportunity when he saw it. He managed to convince both Ford and AC Cars Limited in England that he had an agreement with the other party. He told Ford that he had bodies ready for Ford's 260 engines, and then told AC he had engines looking for bodies. Later, he managed to pass off the only car he had as several different ones by painting it different colors for the car magazine editors to test. Everyone was convinced they'd seen several different cars, when actually it was always the same car. In fact, the very first car anyone saw wasn't painted at all. There wasn't time, so they just scoured the aluminum body until it looked perfect. In its first race against Corvettes, it was 1.5 miles in front and increasing its lead when a broken axle took it out of the race. But everyone took notice. None of the early Cobras were identical since Shelby and AC kept trying to make improvements. Shelby suggested AC round out the shape, which they did. People said it looked like a cobra ready to strike. The story goes that Shelby dreamt up the name one night and saw it written on a piece of paper on his nightstand the next morning. In 1963, Ford came out with a 4-barrel, 271 horsepower, high-performance 289 cubic inch engine. Naturally, Shelby started using this engine. The Cobra was designed for those seeking ultimate performance. Shelby's legendary Cobras intimidated everyone on the race course, and then as high-performance production Mustangs, they attracted a large following. They epitomized power and speed and oozed brute force. These magnificent machines are GT40s. In 1966, with Shelby guiding Ford's performance division, he won the Le Mans race with 3 of its GT40 Mark IIs in the first 3 positions. He beat Ferrari on its own turf and left Corvette standing. These 1966-style GT40s were built in the 80s in England using the original molds and carry the original serial numbers from an unfinished early run. The great sports cars always use race car engineering and styling. In commercials, Ford boasted that the Ford GT had stunned the world in international racing competition at Le Mans, Daytona, and Sebring. And then, out of this laboratory on wheels, had come the high-performance GT production car. Distinctive with Mustang GT stripes, fog lamps, 5-cluster instrument panel, sports steering, front-wheel disc brakes, heavy-duty stabilizer bar, flared dual trumpet exhausts, and 289 cubic inch 4-barrel V8 engine. The 1966 Shelby Mustangs had a rear seat, smaller wheels, more color choices, and an automatic transmission was offered as an option. Although few ordered it, a Cobra Paxton supercharger engine was also available. The rear side window was plastic for that 1 year. Hertz ordered 1,000 GT350s. They came in black with gold stripes, and on the side it had GT350H. However, these Shelbys came back with definite signs of racing, so Hertz dropped them. Shelby always used a real wood steering wheel. This is an extremely rare 1966 Shelby Mustang convertible. Only 6 were made that year at the end of the production run. 4 as gifts from Shelby to friends, and 2 kept by Shelby America for demonstration and office use. The 6 convertibles all came in different colors: red, black, green, blue, white, and pink. This red one originally belonged to Shelby America, and they put the optional chrome Magnum 500 wheels on it. In 1966, Shelby Mustang production was 2,380 units, including 936 Hertz cars and the 6 specially built convertibles. All 6 convertibles had air conditioning. 3 were automatic and 3 had 4-speed transmission, which this one has. Not only is this a beautiful and powerful automobile, it is also an expensive one due to its rarity. The engine was the standard Shelby 289 Hypo engine. The convertibles didn't have the racing stripes on the hood and deck lid, only the thinner side stripes with the GT350 designation. The side scoop, which ducted air to the rear brakes on the regular Shelbys, was non-functional on the convertibles because of the convertible mechanism. Mustang became the flagship of Ford's performance program and succeeded in changing Ford's image from conservative to youthful and aggressive. Recently, faithful reproductions of the Shelby convertibles have been created. The standard 1966 Mustangs come off the production line, showing that over 3 million have been sold. In 1966, the front grille had thin horizontal chrome stripes with no heavy chrome bars attached to the horse corral. Rocker panel moldings became a $16 option. This 1966 Mustang GT has the blacked-out grille, longer nose, and GT stripes. It came with the 5-gauge instrument panel, optional 8-track tape deck, and comfort control. Also, pony emblem floor mats. The GT had a heavy bar attaching to the horse corral and fog lights. Adults weren't the only ones who wanted a GT of their own. Kids could order this accurate battery-operated scale model. The horse logo on the front was originally designed to run to the right, the way racehorses run. But in the final version, it runs to the left, which is only proper for the free-spirited Mustang. When Lee Iacocca was asked about this mistake, he replied that it seemed headed in the right direction. Sales definitely supported that thought. Ford still boasted of its limitless options. The best way to appreciate the beauty of these details is in newly restored Mustangs. The magnificent embossed horses on the seats are appropriate for a car nicknamed the Pony Car. This original beauty contains Mexican Mustang cigarettes, possibly named after the car, and the splendid sporty trunk with Mustang bag and wheel cover. This 1965 restored fastback has the sporty trunk, Mustang cigarettes, toy replica car, and embossed horses on the vinyl seats.